Smooth mate.
Yo, you already know what time it is. Welcome back to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker. If you didn't know, I am Marissa The Thinker, host of Thinker versus Speaker, a podcast where once a week we sit down with different guests and we talk about all things, anything, everything, life, love, relationships, spirituality, literally whatever we want to talk about. So if you're into that type of thing, strap up, tune in, and get ready for another episode. Now, with that being said, I don't always know what we're going to talk about. So if you easily trigger, take this as a general trigger warning. We're always open to new dialogue. So, if we say something that you don't like, love, or agree with, leave it in the comment section. We can talk about it and expand on it a little bit more, and we can gain some perspective on where you're coming from. Or, if it's too much and you got to leave, do what you got to do. But hopefully you come back next week when we're talking about something else. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting down with anybody else this week, but I gotta welcome y'all back. You know what I'm saying? If you know me personally, that's kind of my style. I'm a one-on-one type of person. I like having one-on-one interactions. It's the introvert in me, but you know what I'm saying? I figured the best way to come back is to just have a, one-on-one sit down with all of y'all, and then next week we'll hop into those group episodes. I got one that I'm really excited to talk about next week. So, you know what I'm saying? We will get there, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm super excited. Super excited. It has been a whole month and a half since I sat down and talked to y'all, and it has been a heck of a journey. Let me tell you, I didn't expect to take a break the way that I took a break, but it was honestly one of the best things for me. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the best things that I could possibly do, and I'll tell y'all all about it in this episode. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to know what this episode is going to be about, really, it's going to be about where I've been and just tapping into this whole hustler's mentality and this gotta get it fast lifestyle, that we can sometimes get caught up in, and my perspective on it. So you know what I'm saying? If you into that type of thing, tune in, and I would love to hear y'all thoughts on some of the things that we talk about. So definitely make sure that you check out, you know what I'm saying, the website, and drop your comments and your thoughts in there. We got a nice little comment section. Shout out to Chris Perry of Perry Web Design for putting that website together for us. If you didn't know, we have a website. It's thinkerversusspeaker.com, and it literally has any and everything that you need to know about Thinker versus Speaker. You got episodes on there. We got a blog in there. You can sign up to talk to me, you know what I'm saying? And all of those fancy dancy things. And we also have links to our sponsors. We got Passion and Purpose candles. If you like candles and you want to support a good mission, check them out. My parents' candle company, we did an episode with them. Really good mission. Check them out. And then Chris Perry of Perry Web Design, you know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's just hop into it and get to the point, because I know y'all are ready. Hopefully y'all are ready, because I'm excited. Yeah. Where do I begin? Okay. This week is all about tapping into that hustler mentality. And you know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean by hustler's mentality, it's just that feeling of when you set goals and it's just I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it, I gotta go get it, I gotta grind. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about grind mode. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just I got this mission, I got this business, I got this goal, I got this dream. So I eat, sleep, breathe this vision. You know what I'm saying? So for me, in this particular instance, it's the podcast, right? And, whatever other projects that I work on. But it's this, right? And it's that I gotta wake up and get it. So every moment of every day, I'm thinking about how to grow my business, how to make myself better, What kind of connections do I need to make? Who should I be talking to? What do I need to be aligning myself with? How can I improve this, or how can I do that? And it's a constant cycle of just working, right? And it's good because things like that always help you to move forward. Like, I've always been a goal-driven person. So shout out to y'all who are like, you know what I'm saying? You set goals, you knock them out. I've always been that type of person for like as long as I remember. If I set my goals on something, I need to achieve it. Like, and I'm tunnel vision focused on that. But my question to y'all today, is that healthy? Or can we go too far with it sometimes? So, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think, and then let's go ahead and hop into it, right? So really, this break that I took was because I know it was abrupt, right? Let's be honest. The break that I took, it was just like I looked up and I was just like, all right, y'all, I'm going on a break. And I'm sure it's kind of like, what happened, right? So really, nothing was wrong. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, something catastrophic happened. It was nothing like that. Really, what happened was I just looked up and I realized I was exhausted. You know, like I had been doing so much and I had been really just going for 2 years straight. And then I just realized, like, whoa, like, where did my life go? You know, essentially. And it wasn't like in a bad way. It wasn't anything like abrupt, but it was just like I looked up and I realized I was working 24/7. Like, I would wake up, go to work, do my 9 hours, come home and either record, work on posts, or, you know what I'm saying, editing, getting on Canva or whatever, wherever I needed to be. It was 24/7 working until it was time for me to go to sleep. And then I would just repeat that every day, like Sunday through Saturday, just grinding, right? And it was dope because it's been a really long time since I've had something that I was willing to work for like that. And it was really cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was really cool and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But the thing was, like, I've been going for 2 years, like I said. So to y'all, those of y'all who are new here and don't know the story of how Thinker versus Speaker started, I got to take you back to the beginning, as always. And if you heard it before, just fast forward it or something, you know what I'm saying? But I always add a little something to it every time I tell it. But point is, when I started Thinker versus Speaker, like, it was really just a random idea that was in my head. Like, I moved down here in 2018. And when I moved, I went through a whole job change and everything like that. And I got into podcasts and I started listening to podcasts. And like, one of my favorites was The Read. Shout out to The Read. If y'all listen to The Read, that was one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. And I was listening to Crystal and Kid Fury. And I was just like, dang, man, I could do that. And I just sat on the thought, but I never really did anything with it. And at the time, like, the reason that I even moved to Texas in the first place was because I was in a lost place. So, you know, all throughout my life, up until the time that I went to college, I was a very goal-oriented person. I was always focused, goody two-shoes, always did the right thing. And it was something about college where I got there and I just stopped caring about everything. And maybe it was a culmination of everything that I had experienced in my life. I know what it was, but like, who has time to go into all the details, right? But like, you know, it was just a culmination of things. And I just stopped caring. I stopped caring about everything. And I just kind of detached from myself, and I started going through the motions, and I started doing things like drinking and smoking and just not really using my time wisely. I started settling and stopped doing things. Like, I just stopped setting goals because I just didn't want to try anymore. I got tired of trying and what I felt like was failing, right? So I got tired of trying and failing. So I just stopped trying, and I would just spend my time working. I got into retail and that was life for me. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing things that I was good at, and pushing myself wasn't a thing that I would do anymore. But I wasn't happy doing that. I was just going through the motions of life. So really, when I moved, it was for me to push myself outside of my comfort zone and really start finding myself again. And I did. I started finding myself again. But, you know, time goes on. I did a little good. Then I got into a relationship. And then I just let everything go because I thought that I had everything that I wanted. And I stopped going for it. Plus, I never really set any high goals for myself anyway. I was just doing a little bit better. I was doing better financially, physically. I was losing weight and all kind of stuff. And then, you know, you get happy and then you stop doing it because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. I didn't know it at the time, but I wasn't doing it for the right reasons. Time goes on. You know what I'm saying? And life circumstances happen. I break my ankle. That relationship ends. I realized that everything that I was doing, it just wasn't healthy. From the smoking to like my mindset, my mentality, how I treated people, how I treated myself. None of it was happy. None of it was ideal. And something just had to give. And I basically just had a come to Jesus moment. And I realized that my entire life needed to change. I needed to change as a person. The environment that I was in needed to change. The people that I put myself around changed. The way I handled things, everything about my life needed to change. Absolutely everything. And that's when this idea came back. Do a podcast. And I stuck with it. So I started going to therapy. And that's exactly where I was as a person. So like when I started the show in the beginning, I was like still lost, still confused, didn't know what I was doing. This was just a thing to do. And I had unrealistic expectations. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just really just walking blind. But I had set a goal and I was determined to see it through to the end. And I really just took that and stuck with it. And I was determined to work on the podcast, to work on myself, to work on my relationships with people, whether that be family, friends, intimate relationships, everything. I was determined to get better in all of the ways that I could, because that come to Jesus moment was my reality check. And I knew everything that needed to change. Now, granted, it didn't happen overnight. It was a process. So we do a year's worth of the podcast. It's 2 people doing the podcast. And really it's just shits, giggles, comedy, hopping on, no direction, no nothing. But I'm focused. So I'm doing the research. I'm trying to figure out how to make it grow, how to get audiences, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to do clips. And I'm just learning as I go and just absorbing as much information as I can. And I'm just growing and changing as a person. And before I know it, I look up and it's just like, yo, I'm totally different. The things that I talk about are different. The way that I spend my time is different. I've completely changed. And there was another come to Jesus moment. The podcast split. There is no 2 of us anymore. And that's when I had to decide, what are we going to do? So at the time, I didn't take any breaks. Still heavy in my ego, heavy in my pride. I had something to prove. Now, when I'm saying this, like, let me know if y'all feel me. When y'all are going for a goal, again, because this is about this hustler's mentality, right? I'm not going to be talking about that forever. It's about this hustler's mentality. So if y'all got anything that y'all been going for, you know that when you set goals like that, if you say, okay, I'm about to be a musician. Oh, I'm about to be an actor. I'm about to start this business. I'm about to whoop-de-whoop. You know how you'll have some people who will be like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, I can see you doing that. Yeah. And then you have those other people that'll be like, stick to your day job, buddy, because I don't see it for you. Right? Well, depending on what type of person that you are, you can take that a little bit differently. And the person that I was at that time had something to prove to myself and to other people. So when I started it, people didn't really see the vision. Like, I had a vision for myself, but people weren't seeing it. Everywhere I would go, people would be trying to tell me how I need to do it. You should do it this way. You should do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not feeling supported. I went through all of those different trials and tribulations. Again, entrepreneurs, I know y'all feel me. Tell me if you really feeling me on this one, because you know what it is where you don't feel like you getting the support and people not backing you the way that you want to back you. It can form something in you, not for everybody, but it can form something in you where it's just like, okay, now I got something to prove, because I got to prove y'all wrong now, because I got to make y'all see what it is that I'm seeing in my head. And that's where I was. So when the split happened, it was just like, oh, I'm finna do this either way. With you or without you. I don't care. I'm finna do this because this is my goal. This is my thing. I'm finna do it because ain't nobody finna stop me from reaching my goals. I put my mind on this and I'm going for it, which in some ways is a good thing, but the place where it was coming from internally wasn't the best. I was saying that based off my pride. I was saying that off my ego because I felt like I had something to prove to other people. And I didn't understand yet that I didn't really have anything to prove. Like, I knew it, but I didn't really understand it. I understood it, but I wasn't understanding that. You know what I'm saying? And that's two different things. And, you know, I kept going. So I didn't take breaks. I didn't reevaluate. I just kind of kept doing it. And luckily, you know, I had people in my corner. You know, I had my dad that would come on. I had Kay. That's when the time when we had Danny and MT and Dre and all of those people. I had people, you know, step in while I was really trying to figure out where I was going with this. And I'm grateful that happened, because doing those episodes is really what helped me figure out which way the show needed to go, which was really cool. And I had a lot of fun doing it because it showed me that I really could step into my power and I had what it takes to really do this on my own. Because in the beginning, I didn't think I could do this on my own. And that's why I felt like I had so much to prove, was because I didn't understand that I could do this. But actually doing it is what showed me that I could. So I'm grateful that it happened the way that it happened. But, you know, at the time, I just didn't understand it the way that I can understand it now. But I couldn't process all of this because I was in motion. It was continually going. Like I said, I didn't take a break. I think I took like a week off. And that week off was literally spent like game planning to figure out how the next week was going to come. And that's really just how it went. And, you know, we just kept going and going and going. I never stopped. So, you know, that's how Thinker versus Speaker ultimately became what it was. We talked to different people every week. We had all of these different conversations, amazing conversations, and I was having fun. And in the midst of that, I was tapping in with so many cool and interesting people. And I was having amazing conversations and making new friends. And we were growing. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we started, it was like I think Thinker versus Speaker's YouTube page had like 17 subscribers, like when I started. And, you know, today it's at 145. And that might not seem like a lot, but like, you got to think about it. The first year, all we got was 17. And then the next year we're at 125. That's pretty fucking good. Like, that's pretty good in my opinion, just based off what we doing. So, you know, I met amazing people and had amazing conversations. You know, today where we stand, a lot of the people that we talk to, these are my friends. Like, I tap in with these people. Like, I care about these people, and you know what I'm saying? I enjoy talking to them and I enjoy working with them, and I like seeing what they doing because ultimately they motivate me to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that really just was getting lost because I was so focused on proving something and trying to get results. So I just kept going harder. See, because now I'm linking up with hustlers, you know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, like, I was a stoner. I was a stoner. My friends were stoners, and like that's just what we did. It wasn't any like, you know what I'm saying, go get it attitudes. I'm not saying all of my friends, because some of my friends were like stoners and they was actually out here getting it. But like I was just a stoner. I was not out here getting it. So now I'm getting into the mode of just actually, getting out here and getting it. And now I'm trying to keep up. Like at some point I went from having fun to like trying to keep up. And now I'm really hustling. You know what I'm saying? So now, I told you I had that pride. I had that ego. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it. Trying to go. I got something to prove. And now I'm linking up with all of these other people that are doing amazing things. And now, that pride, that ego is still trying to keep up. Like, hold on, nah. I can rock with the best of them. Like, I know I got this now, because now my confidence is up. I'm getting strong. I'm like, I got this. I'm going for it, and that's good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's fun because, at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron. And I feel so blessed to have people around me that can motivate me in that way. But we said this in Chris's episode, Stepping Stones, like, you never want to fall into competition. And again, that's where this hustler mentality thing comes from. Because I think at the time, to do this, I always had to be on social media. I always got to be interacting and seeing what other people are doing. And, subconsciously, when you're doing that too much, you can start comparing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to do it, but it can happen. And sometimes it can just kind of creep up in on you, and you start comparing yourself, and you feel like, okay, for me to be successful, I need to be doing A, B, C, D. I got to be working all the time. I got to constantly be grinding. I got to be seeing results. And if I'm seeing results, if I'm not seeing the results that I want to see, am I actually successful? And for me, that was the trap that I was falling into, because it was just, when you see so much good happening in other people's world, you like, hold on, wait, where is mine? But I wasn't seeing that mine was all around me, which begs the question, is that hustler mentality truly worth it? And I spent the month of September and part of this month of October really grasping, what is that? Really grasping that ideal. Like, is this gotta get it worth it? And really, where is it coming from? And I say this all the time. Like, when you have that thing that you're going for, it's always good to get to the root of like where these strong feelings are coming from. Whether you have strong feelings that are good or strong feelings that are bad, it's always nice to know where these are stemming from emotionally. And for mine, it's just like, I'm hustling because I feel like I have something to prove, because in order for me to feel worthy, I need these results. But in reality, you should just feel worthy. And granted, that challenge is different for everybody, which is why I can't really tell you what the root of it is for you personally. But it's always good to know what your why is. And at some point, I lost touch with my why because I was too busy chasing some goal that I just couldn't really put my finger on, because I was working so hard and I couldn't really tell you why. Like, what am I working for? Like, am I doing this for subscribers? Am I doing this for money? Am I doing this for recognition? Like, what am I doing it for? When in reality, the goal, the reason why I wanted to keep doing this in the first place was because A, this is fun. B, like, I genuinely enjoy it. Like, I like having the conversations that I have. Like, even outside of the podcast, one of my favorite things to do is to have in-depth conversations with people about different topics, and to pick their brains about certain things and try to understand their perspectives and where people are coming from. That's just what I like to do. And then I found out along the way that that people enjoy these conversations and they're actually helpful to people, and that gave me even more initiative to do it. But I lost sight of all of that trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't fun anymore. It became all work. And, you know, that leads me to why it just abruptly stops. Because one day I looked up and I was just like, not happy. Like, I'm not happy. This is not fun. I'm working 24/7, not getting the results that I want, not feeling fulfilled anymore. And, you know, that's not okay. Because the point in the beginning was to find something that made me happy, to find an outlet that I genuinely enjoyed, to, you know, introduce something in my life that was going to bring me genuine fulfillment from a soul level. It was never about the money. It was never about getting the recognition. It was never about any of those things. It was just something for me to show myself that I can set goals and see them through to the end. And the original goal was just to get the podcast on air in the first place. Isn't that the success? Isn't that what I wanted? You know, it's good that I continue to do it and I'm doing it because I love it, but is it worth it if it's not fun? Is it still worth it if I don't feel like I can take a break? Is it still worth it if I'm not getting to spend time with my family anymore? I'm not seeing my friends. Like, at some point I looked up and I was like, bro, you ain't watched TV in like 2 years. Not saying the TV is like super important, but like, you don't sit down. Like, me and Ruby would go on adventures once a week, every week. And I loved it. I like getting outside. I like being in nature and seeing different things and just walking the path and seeing how far it'll take me and where it's going to go. You know, I'm a sucker for a good little waterfall, but I wasn't doing that anymore. It was literally just work and work and work and work. Like, I can't tell you the last time I hung out with my friends down here. I do not know. I've had friends move away and everything, miss going away parties and all types of stuff, because I'm so busy working. I'm not being a good friend. I'm not being a good daughter. I'm not being a dog parent anymore. And I'm saying all of these good things, but I'm not living them. And that wasn't okay. So yeah, I up and decided to take a break. And I know it was abrupt and out of nowhere, but, you know, it didn't matter anymore. Because at no point did I ever think about stopping the show. But the show was never meant to become more important than me, if that makes sense. It was never meant to become more important than, you know, my own happiness and fulfillment, because that just defeats the purpose. You know, they say it all the time. That's why there are millionaires that are miserable, because maybe sometimes you just get so caught up in the seeking results and the gaining the material fruit of what it is that you're doing, that you miss everything along the way. So I pulled back from everything. I got off social media. I started journaling again, sleeping a lot, like a lot, catching up on sleeping, playing with my dog. You know what I'm saying? I had family come visit me and I got to spend time with them, like going to the fair, like the fair's out right now. You know what I'm saying? Getting outside again, getting in nature now that the weather is broken, and just, you know, bird watching. I like birds. I like being in nature, buying flowers and all kinds of stuff. So I really spent that time getting back in touch with myself and then tapping back in with God, because I needed it. You know what I'm saying? I needed to get regrounded, and I needed to focus on what was important, because I had lost sight of it. I lost sight of it, and that is not a good feeling. Okay, it is not a good feeling. Like, there are some things that money, material things, it doesn't matter. Like, you can have a house, a car, all of the money in the world, and still not be happy. And that's just not worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I wasn't seeing was all of the friends that I gained. Like, I remember there was a point in time where I wept to God asking for a genuine support system, to have people around me that knew more than me, that could help me along my way. I was tired of being the one that knew everything. And to be where I am now, and it's just like I have people in my circle with knowledge and resources around the things that I do, people that I can just call and are genuinely willing to help me, ain't looking for anything. And, you know, I'm grateful, you know what I'm saying? But to realize you have everything that at one point in time that you prayed for, like, you might not have everything that you want, but God definitely made sure that you had everything you needed. Everything. You know, I have everything that I prayed for at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? I have a family that supports me. I have friends that are here for me. My relationships are getting better. You know what I'm saying? I got money, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I ain't rich, but you know what I'm saying? All my bills are paid and I got a little bit extra to work with, you know, and some people can't say that. So who's to say I'm not successful when you have everything that you asked for? So yeah, that's what I needed. You know, I needed a moment. I needed a moment to pause for perspective. And you know what I'm saying? I guess really that's why I want to bring it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's good to be a part of the gotta get it culture. But at what point do you stop and say, I made it? When do you know you made it? How do you know you made it? What is making it even look like? And is that something you can really answer? And if you can't answer it, why? Who can answer it? And who is the judge of whether or not you're successful? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say, you know, what makes me happy is going to make somebody else happy? All right? Because the same way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go for a walk in a heartbeat, but it's people around me that'll be like, it's hot outside, and would rather watch TV. And you can't knock them. That's what makes them happy. But, you know, everything don't work for everybody. So if everything don't work for everybody, who's to say what success is? And when we working to keep up with the Joneses, what are we even trying to keep up with? You know what I'm saying? If the people around you are doing what they love and what makes them happy, and you doing it too, aren't y'all doing the same thing? Aren't y'all on the same level? Because it's going to look different either way. You know, I spent a lot of time reconnecting with God, and I spent some time like reading through my Bible, and I ain't got that far, but I got far enough. And something that I realized in doing so is just that, well, it's something I find interesting anyway, is that in a lot of the stories that I read, God has a way of making you kind of like wait. And it's almost like this waiting period. And it's just like, he'll have you on a journey, but you don't even necessarily know you on a journey. He'll just tell you a little something like, hey, go do this. Hey, go do that. And just to see if you'll do it, right? Just to see if you'll do it. So like, he'll tell you, hey, go start this thing. Hey, take a break. Go over there. Don't go over there. Do this. Say that. Just to see if you'll do it. And you don't necessarily know if you're going to get anything from it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but you do it anyway. Just because God said so. And when you do it, somewhere along the way, you end up getting rewarded. And you might not necessarily see it coming. It might have taken a long time. You might have gone through a lot to get it. But at the end of it, after you listen to this direction and that instruction, and you do it, and you might make a mistake, or something might go left, or something might go wrong, but then you do it, and God, and you fulfill a mission for God that you didn't even know that he had on you, you get rewarded. And I just find that so interesting. And it's almost like the pattern goes that way, but everybody's journey was different. That's the pattern, but the journey was different. So who's to say that person that I'm looking at, whether I'm comparing myself to a friend or somebody that I don't even know, if I see them reaping a reward, who's to say what they had to go through to get that reward? Maybe they got instructions that we don't know about. Maybe they were told to do this or told to do that. And maybe they went through this and went through that and, whatever. And ultimately they got rewarded. And maybe you on a similar journey, but yours is a little different. And it goes a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was Abraham who had a son when he was old. Yeah, it was Abraham. Abraham didn't even think he could have a son because he was so old. And then God gave him a son and then asked him to sacrifice his son. Right? And he asked him to sacrifice the son just because. Now, you waited for this son. You wanted this son. You prayed for this son. And then it takes a long time. He was like over 100. It took a long time. And then when he got that son, you know what I'm saying? That in itself was a blessing. And then God turns around and says, sacrifice him. It's just like, what? Sacrifice my son that I prayed for, that I waited on, that I waited 100+ years for. And now you want me to sacrifice him? And then you do it anyway. And then you get rewarded. It's crazy. He didn't have to sacrifice his son. And then later he gets rewarded with land upon land. And you know what I'm saying? Generations on generations on generations, to come. And it works that way. So sometimes it's more important to just focus on your own journey and listen to your own instructions that you're being told. It's no need to compare yourself to the other people. It's no need to keep up. As long as you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, as long as you understand that you're worthy, as long as you understand that whatever is meant for you is going to be yours, regardless, as long as you stay tapped in with what you need to do, as long as you stay focused on what you need to do, who's to say you're not successful already? Or that what you're looking for is like not right around the corner. But you know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts. What are y'all thoughts on it? You know what I'm saying? I'm curious to see what y'all think about it. I know I went on a little tangent there, but we all pull it together in the end. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. We're back. I got a new perspective. I got some new energy. I'm really excited to get into some things. You know what I'm saying? Next week, I got the majority of the emerging business leaders here to talk to y'all. That one's fun. I've never done an episode with that many people before, and we get to talk to all of those super cool people. Some people that you talked to before, some people that you never heard of before. So I'm really excited to get that out to y'all. Super excited ahead of the expo that's coming up November 4th, St. Louis, Missouri, from 11 to 4. I'll be posting the flyers all the time. Let's see. I might throw up a flyer on my website too. Get a flyer on there so y'all can see it. But yeah, check out emergingbusinessleaders.org. Not only do they have this expo coming up, but they have so many resources for new entrepreneurs, existing entrepreneurs, people who know other entrepreneurs, send them their way. They got a whole Facebook page where we just interact and talk about different things. Like they just made a post today talking about 4 different grants to look for if you was budding business owner. So like I said, it's not just a community. They literally are coming with resources and so much more. If you're looking for services and anything else, just trust me, check them out. Really dope people doing dope things in our community, and it's so necessary. And like I said, I'm super excited about the expo. I will be there. I'm like this close to being ready. And you know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see y'all. I'm excited to see y'all. I'm excited to see all of the collaborators. You know what I'm saying? It's free, open to the public. So definitely, if you're in St. Louis on November 4th, 11 to 4, make sure you come check us out. Come get a wristband. I got goodie bags and all kinds of stuff for y'all, along with their stuff. And I'm doing a giveaway. I got 2 giveaways. Passion to Purpose is doing a giveaway, and I'm doing a giveaway. So if you want to know what I'm giving away, you gotta come find out. But I'm doing one, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I think that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited. We got new things coming. Like, if you want to know what this season has to bring, I'm channeling my dad. I feel like that's something my dad would ask me. What's coming up this season? What's coming up this season? Of course, we'll have new episodes. We'll have some old collaborators. We'll have some new collaborators. Like I said, if you're interested in coming on the show, go to thinkerversusspeaker.com. I got a scheduling page where we can have a conversation to see if we can, you know what I'm saying, if we can do what it do. It's not like I'm asking you for nothing. I'm not charging you for nothing. I'm just trying to see if we can have a good conversation. So if you're interested in coming on the show, just check out my website, thinkerversusspeaker.com. Go under schedule, pick out a time, and then we can chop it up and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And what else? So I have new episodes with existing people that we've already talked to before, talking about new things and topics and subjects. I'm going to be experimenting with some new types of content. I'll be revisiting some old episodes. Like while I was on a break, I actually went through some of the old episodes that we did. Y'all. If y'all been here from the beginning, let me know, because I owe y'all something. I'm going to have to send y'all something or something, because the beginning was a little rough, wasn't it? I was listening to one of the YouTube episodes, and I was just like, yo, I got to re-upload this. Like, I got to re-upload this. We got to fix the sounds. We got to fix the visuals. We got to revisit that. So we'll be revisiting some episodes. I'll be reacting to them, going through the conversation, adding some context, adding some dialogue to it. So if y'all interested in that, keep an eye out for it, because I definitely will be doing it. Experimenting with some different ways of creating content. Some things will be going away. We'll be adding some things. You'll just have to see. Stay tuned. We got the expo, and you know what I'm saying? In the meantime, I'm working on some things. Like, y'all like my t-shirt? Y'all like my shirt? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some things worked on, you know what I'm saying? To get y'all some merch, get y'all some ways to help support the show, the channel, and things like that. So, you know, like I said, if you're interested, you want to keep up with all things Thinker versus Speaker, you know where to go. Go to thinkerversusspeaker.com. It'll link you to all of my social media pages. You can watch old videos. You can see the new episodes when they come out. You can sign up for the mailing list, because we're going to get that cracking soon. If you want to get updates from us via email, go ahead and subscribe to the mailing list so we can make sure that you get the first of whatever it is that we put out. You know what I'm saying? You can support our sponsors and everything else. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sponsor us, you can do that via the website as well. Just contact me through there. It's literally a one-stop shop for everything that you need, Thinker versus Speaker. But if you like this episode, definitely give it a like. You know, subscribe to the channel. Tell other people about what you're listening to and what you're enjoying. And like I said, if you got any suggestions, anything that you want to hear me talk about, if you got people that you want me to talk to, just send them my way. Let me know, leave comments, interact with us. And if you want to add to the conversation, definitely feel free to do so, because we are here to create a dialogue and to talk about the things that you want to talk about, maybe some of the things that you don't necessarily want to talk about, and do some healing and make some forward movement and progress. So with that being said, I'm not going to take up any more of y'all time. I hope y'all have a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed the break, and I hope y'all are ready for a new season of Thinker versus Speaker. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for being there, supporting us, and just helping the show grow, because really I couldn't do it without y'all. Y'all are the reason why I haven't quit. Y'all are the reason why I keep coming back. I've had so many people come to me during this time just telling me yo, don't stop. It was never an inkling in my mind to stop, but just those encouraging words, leaving comments, sharing, talking to me personally in my day-to-day life, all of those words of encouragement. I really do appreciate every single one of y'all. I know it's not 1 million subscribers. I know we ain't at the top of the ranking list or anything like that yet, but honestly, the support of each and every one of y'all means so much more. I'd rather be in a room with 10 solid people than surrounded by 1,000 fake ones. And y'all are the realest supporters anybody can have. If y'all got Thinker versus Speakers back, I know y'all are some real folks, and I appreciate y'all support, and I love y'all. From the bottom of my heart, I love y'all. I appreciate the support, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm back, and I'm in it for good. And this time, it's not about the ego. It's not about proving anything. It's just, we here because we love it. We here because we love the conversations, and we here because, we want to help some people. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hop up out of here, get this ready to get up, start working on the Emerging Business Leaders episode and whatever else. So if y'all are as excited as me, like I said, leave a like, share it, subscribe to the channel, and just help us grow. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.
Smooth, mate.